सहनावतु सहनौ यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे रतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। So yesterday we saw the shloka about vairagya of Nachiketa. There was supposed to be a homework. Did you memorize? क्या 4 लाइन करने के लिए don't tell me try to just could not do it. 4 लाइन.
It is so difficult.
No,
so difficult.
I don't tell. 4 lines are never.
Yeah, but these lines are very difficult lines.
You principally don't know Sanskrit actually.
क्या दिक्कत है?
We chatted a few times.
Yeah, but it will keep reading everything. So it will. Now we are doing price.
Nachiketa learned the entire Agni Vidya listening to it once. 4 lines memorize करना है. How can it be so difficult? Even if you don't know the language, it's 4 lines. You tell me a child, how does a child know? Does a child know the language? For memorizing, language knowledge is not required. For memorizing, only effort is required. You just keep repeating. That's all. उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए उसमें. If you require, you have to put some memory aids, if you like, some association. 5 बार यहाँ पे चैंट करो. चलो एटलीस्ट. शोभावामर्त्यस्य यदन्तकैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवितम् अल्पमेव तवैभवाः सवनृत्यगीते। शोभावामर्त्यस्य यदन्तकैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवितम् अल्पमेव तवैभवाः सवनृत्यगीते। शोभावामर्त्यस्य यदन्तकैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवितम् अल्पमेव तवैभवाः सवनृत्यगीते। शोभावामर्त्यस्य यदन्तकैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवितम् अल्पमेव तवैभवाः सवनृत्यगीते। One simple way to memorize is break up the words. You have the breakup in the book of Gurudev. What are the words? Shvobhava, Martyasya, Yad, Antakaita. 4 words. Sarvendriyana, Jarayanti, Tejaha. 3 words. Api, Sarvam, Jivitam, Alpam eva, 5 words. Tavaiva, Vaha, Tava, Nitya, Gite, 4 words. 4, 3, 5, 4. How many words these are? How many? 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 plus 4, 16 words. It will take 3 days to remember. It is a phobia in the mind. That's all. Just remove that phobia. 16 words in one sequence you have to remember. What else it is? So simple. 10 बार अगर आप पढ़ते ना इसको कैसे याद होगा? हाँ कैसे हो सकता है? 20 times if you have read with attention, it has to get inside. Definitely. If required, you can do the other way also. 20 times you do one line. Don't do full shloka 20 times. Shobhava Marte Sedanta Kirtan, Shobhava Masedanta Kirtan. 20 बार करो तो next time it will come like that. और क्या होगा? Memorizing तो ऐसे ही होता है. Very simple it is. Tomorrow's lesson will proceed only if you memorize this. It will not proceed otherwise. Okay, so now that vairagya that Nachiketa had, that we saw in that shloka number 26, where one important thing to remember is when our buddhi, see the buddhi has two choices, either to contemplate on the subtle or to get identified with the gross. The buddhi which gets identified with the gross loses the capability of subtle contemplation. So not only the sense objects will deplete the vitality of the sense objects will also destroy the capability of the buddhi to think about the Atma, to be subtle. The more grosser I am, indulging in, the more grosser my buddhi will become. So the idea here is, what do I really want? When they say sarva indriyanam jalayanti tejaha, the indriya is not only the senses. These are the bahya indriyas, senses. The antar indriya is the mana buddhi chitta, this subtle body. Because through that also we perceive. Without that we can't get the knowledge. So sarva indriyanam means both that, gross as well as subtle. Our intellect has the capability of being very subtle. What is not visible to the senses, that the intellect can see. That's the vision, the intellect has that capability. That intellect becomes grossified the more we indulge in the sense pleasures. Vivek goes on to say, Shankaracharya says in that senses are more dangerous than even pleasurable objects. Sorry, senses are more dangerous than even poison. Why? Because poison will only destroy somebody who has consumed it. Senses will destroy even when seen. Nobody gets destroyed by seeing poison. If you consume poison, it will get dangerous. But if we see the sense objects, that's it. Seeing is enough. Why? Because that seeing puts an impression in the mind. Then the brooding starts. Then the mind keeps on wanting that. The entire ladder of fall starts. 8 steps. Just by seeing. Visham niyanti bhoktaram, rashtaram chakshushatyayam. The poison can only destroy somebody who consumes the poison. Here we are not physically consuming the sense object, we are just seeing, but mentally we are consuming. Hence he says, Tavaivaha tav nitya gite, you keep. And who will buy depletion at the cost? By paying money. Today we are doing that. For the pleasure, we are paying money. But what are we actually paying money for? Really, we are paying money for depletion of the senses. This much only is the pleasure. Depletion is this much. Of the senses and the mind both. From a spiritual standpoint, when we think about it, what is that which is the price that I am paying for indulgence? The price that I am paying for indulgence is, number one, subtlety of my intellect. My intellect becomes gross. How difficult it is to get that subtle buddhi. See, when we don't have satsang, when we don't know and we are indulging, that is one type, one aspect of life. The challenge is when I know that I can use the buddhi for subtle aspects. I can use the buddhi to realize the truth. Still the craving of the mind and intellect is to indulge. Then along with subtlety going, guilt also comes. Because I know what I can do, but I am not doing it. Number three, attachment. It will make me dependent. Sense pleasure. Number four, my own Atma. Because the more grosser the buddhi becomes, the more further away I am from the self. And the entire samsara dukkha starts after that. When I don't know who am I, then the samsara dukkha starts. This is the price I am actually paying. It is not the price tag which is written there. That itself sometimes seems very exorbitant. But the real price we pay is this. So a person who understands this very well, Nachiketa says, I don't want to even come anywhere near that. You keep all that to yourself. The incompleteness that we experience in the world can only go when I experience the completeness of the Atma. It cannot go by anything else which is incomplete. Dasharatha Maharaj had a son. He didn't have a son. And he did Putra Kameshti Yajna. Because of his punya, because of the grace of the Lord, Bhagavan himself was born to him as a son. So his desire fulfilled. And how it is fulfilled? Not an ordinary son, not a son who is going to be very famous in the world. The son who is an avatar, Bhagavan himself. Still, did he live happily? He died a miserable death. Can you imagine what qualification is required to be a father of an avatar? Not an ordinary person. He is a Chakravarti Samrat. And Dasharath means he has self-control also. Still he died a miserable death. Why? Because incompleteness cannot go by incomplete things. Incompleteness can go only by realizing the complete. And this 11-year-old boy, he tells that his senses are not going to get me what I want, so you keep all that. Happily he tells, without thinking, there is no calculation in his mind. That is called a Shuddha Buddhi. Pure intellect, pure mind, subtle intellect. He is not calculating. Should I take little? This is called Anartha Parampara. You just leave it as it is. I don't want it. Intense vairagya when somebody has come. You know what they say? My Mahatma said, our body and the sense pleasures are like Kakavishta. Kakavishta means crochet. Will anybody seek happiness from crochet? Will anybody want to go and inquire also what is that? Will anybody even think that, what am I giving up? That is the intensity of vairagya. He says it is equal to that. So Nachiketa says, Tavayavaha tam nityam. You keep all that with you. Because it's just a good packaging which is there, nothing else. And how much one falls for the packaging? If one layer this skin goes away, what will be this body? 7 layers of skin are supposed to be here in the body. Layer by layer, if you remove the skin, oh, wow, terribly. So the person who wants deep vairagya must start from the body, detachment from the body. How do I cultivate vairagya? Number one, strengthen vivek. Number two, identification with the body must drop. Vairagya cannot come when I think I am this body and then I want to leave sense of this. No, no, no. Vairagya comes when I understand that this body itself is a bundle of dirt and filth. What am I trying to please this body? Maximum what I should do, use the body to serve the Lord, serve the people, use the body to do sadhana and realize the truth. That's it. Beyond that, the body has no other utility values for a spiritual seeker. Somebody who wants to indulge and then come to this understanding, this vivek, that's okay, that's a part of journey of evolution. But when one has understood that, then one says, not required. So body identification must drop. The vivek, what is temporary, what is permanent, that must become strong. How will that become strong? By satsang. Third means of vairagya is performance of duty. You see Nachiketa's life, he stuck to his duty. Vairagya is a byproduct of dharma. If I do my duty, vairagya will come. But if I do my duty with raga and dvesha, then vairagya will not come. That will strengthen raga and dvesha. Because vairagya, yesterday we saw 5 meanings, we saw vairagya. One first meaning is raga and dvesha is minimized, neutralized. So if I do my duty as a duty, that's why Bhagavan says, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam in the Gita. Do your duty. Obligatory duty I must do. And do it dedicating it to the Lord. If I do it that way, then vairagya has to come. If I do it because I want to please somebody, because I want to please myself, then vairagya will not come, raga will become stronger. Anybody who has performed the duty properly will have proper vairagya. Duty combined with satsang, when it comes, no, vairagya will just happen. And performance of duty will get you punya, punya will get you satsang. So it will happen. And satsang will lead to viveka, vivek will lead to vairagya. So that's the logic. So dharma helps, satsang and vivek helps. Dehatma bhava must become lesser. How dehatma bhava will become lesser? Constantly think about the real nature of this body, real nature of the pleasure. Sukha, dukh, vivek. That is a means to develop vairagya. Where is real happiness and what is sorrow? My moha is to think that this body is having happiness. And puja, japa, sadhana is all difficult. There is delusion. When I have a terrible disease, even the most difficult remedy, I have to go through or not. That time will I say, no, it's very difficult, I can't go through. But then you die. That's what will happen. Somehow the patient is convinced or forced or something one has to do not to take that medicine. And if it is a small child, what the mother will do? Forcibly make the child eat it. Or powder that medicine, put it in some porridge, something, give it to the child. Something one has to do to consume it. So, one has to ensure that the Sukha Dukha Vivek is done properly. That where is Dukha actually? And where is Sukha actually? Sukha Dukha Vivek can be done. Tapas, one has to live in tapas. Vairagya will not come to a mind which lives in bhoga. And that's why the clarity must be there of vairagya. That why I want vairagya. Otherwise people will just make us feel that we are missing out something in life. You know, we are suppressing our desires. There are people out there who will tell all this. They have their own thinking, their own rationality, their own justification. It goes on. If our mind is not clear, sometimes our vairagya becomes weak. See how, that's why it said that when our sadhana is not, when we are not established properly, it's like a small plant. This plant, when it is there is a fence around it to protect it. So I need to protect myself from people who can destroy my seeking. May not be consciously intending to, but by their very talk, the way of living, their thinking, it will destroy. Because I am still not established. And to experience the subtle is more hard than to experience the gross. So when I am trying to experience the subtle, I am not yet getting it. The person who is at the gross level will always say that it is a foolishness, why are you even doing it? The mind which is having the vasana will again fall back. So in Narad Bhakti Sutra he says that keep away from wealth, keep away from Nastik, keep away from people who gossip. Initially, to strengthen bhakti, to strengthen sadhana, keep away from these things which will make the mind go into the worldly realm back. Once the sadhana is strong, then it doesn't affect anything. Then wherever one is, no problem. But initially, so tapas has to be done. Where I protect myself, I take a oath, I say I will not do this, I will do this. A disciplined life, self-control will lead to vairagya. Without self-control, how will vairagya come? And if I ask myself, what is the self-control I am practicing today? So if I listen to a lecture, if I understand the Upanishad, I will get intellectual knowledge about it. Upanishad, every mantra is actually telling us to practice sadhana. We don't need separately tell something else. Each mantra, now you just see that one mantra I have been speaking on 3 days. How many things it is talking about vairagya? That how this vairagya has to be applied, how to cultivate this vairagya, what are the methods to practice. If I start applying those, then only that experience will happen. What is that I am attached to? So that I slowly start reducing raga and dvesha. Then vairagya will come. Bhakti when I do, then vairagya will come. Because if I have to detach from the world, I must attach to Bhagavan. Without attaching to Bhagavan, I want to detach from the world. And the strangest thing is, other day only somebody sent me that quote. The quote is from Kathopanishad. And the Upanishad says very clearly there that Yan manasana manute yena avamanomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam vedam upasate. Know that to be Brahman, which cannot be known by the mind, but because of which the mind knows everything. That is Brahman, not this which you worship. So what they will do, they will quote that Upanishad line and they will say, what do you think about this? Why do we need to worship the form? Why do we need to do sadhana? Why do we need to do all this japa, puja, all this? Because this is not Brahman. That was said to a person who has finished all that puja, japa and made the mind single. Finally, why don't get stuck in that? You have already done the sadhana, now you rise above that. Somebody who has not started it only is quoting that shloka to say that why should we do all this? So if I want vairagya, bhakti I am not having, how vairagya will come? In Bhagavad what we are studying now, that's the prasang today in our class. Bhakti Mata is young and the Jnana and Vairagya become old. What a strange. In Vrindavan, Bhakti Mata is young. How is the mother young and children old? Weird, no, it is. But that is how it is. That Jnana and Vairagya are products of Bhakti actually. And that Bhakti only today we don't know what Bhakti is God, what God, how God exists. Okay, then how vairagya will come? It is not an intellectual quest. Matter, energy, I believe in consciousness, God is some power, God is energy, okay. After a point, it will just become a good topic that I can talk about and impress people. Beyond that, it will not do anything. But the bhakti bhav, if it doesn't come, vairagya will not happen only. Just look at the heart of Nachiketa, how much bhakti he has. Ishwar bhakti, Shastra bhakti, Guru bhakti, everything. And Pitru bhakti, all that is required. Then only vairagya will happen. Then correct vairagya will happen. Not escapism, not frustration, none of that. So this is the sadhana that one has to do to develop vairagya. Bhakti, dharma, tapas, satsang, vivek, dehatma bhav, reduction of raga and dvesha. If these I can do, vairagya will happen. Now, two things which human mind gets obsessed with. One is sense pleasures at the body level, and one is pursuit of wealth. So even in Bhajagovindam we see that after the first verse, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, when the chorus is over, the second is about wealth. Murajahi dhanagama trishnam guru sadbuddhim manasi trishnam yallabhase nija karmopatam vittam pena vinodaya chittam. And the third verse is about sense pleasures. So Upanishad also, what the earlier verse Shobhava Madhyasya Gantakaita spoke about sense pleasures. Now he tells about wealth. Because these two obsess the mind most of the time. See 27th verse. Navittena tarpaniyo manushyaha lapsyamahe vittamagrakshmachetva जीविष्यामो यावदेशिष्यसि त्वम् परस्तु मे वरणीयः स एव. So he says here, na vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. A human being cannot be satisfied by wealth. Meaning our deepest demand for happiness cannot be satisfied by wealth. Na prabhutena vittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. Now the Shankaracharya's bhashya. With lots of wealth also, a person will not be satisfied. Nahi loke vittalabha kasyachit triptikaro drishtaha. In this world, by gaining wealth, nobody has become happy in the sense of the permanent happiness that we seek. Pleasure, functional convenience, comforts we can buy, luxuries we can buy, those are different things. He says this, in this world till today nobody has become supremely happy because of wealth. In fact, it is the other way. Artham anartham. Shankaracharya says artha is anartham only. Why? Because when wealth is there, then I am scared. Somebody come and look it away. Now it is very difficult today's age. If I have wealth, even if I invest in the bank, what the bank does, we don't know. Either government will take it away or the bank will take it away. Where do I put my wealth? Land, gold, mutual funds, somewhere, somewhat I have to think. And then keep on cooking up ways and means to avoid tax. And after doing all that, I am still not going to be able to sleep peacefully. So a right relationship with wealth is sometimes the wealth is such that man is possessed by wealth. Bhishmacharya says so clearly in Mahabharata. Arthasya purusho dasaha artho daso na kasyachit. He says a human being is the slave of wealth. Wealth is not slave to anybody. Can you imagine? He's telling this to Duryodhana. I don't remember. Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira. But Yudhishthira asks him that, why did you fight from the side of Kauravas? You are such a knowledgeable person. Why did you fight on the side of Kauravas? He gave this line. Arthasya purusho dasa artho daso na kasya. Not that he fought because of wealth, but he fought because of loyalty. He had committed that I will be loyal. Now he got stuck there. But he is telling him that remember this, wealth is not slave to anybody. Human being who has created this wealth has become the slave of this wealth. Wealth is not coming and telling I am yours. We are going and telling wealth you are mine and I am yours. So he says, now Vityana Tarpani Manushya, Upanishad line this is. Person who has wealth will have a functional convenience and can do a lot of good work in the world. There is no doubt in that. If that's the vision, then wealth does not possess a person. Person is possessing the wealth to use it whenever one wants for the good of the society. But if that is not the vision, then that wealth will become an obsession, then that will destroy the person. How many kings have been killed by whom? Their own children. Putradapi dhanavajam viti, Shankaracharya says. Your own children will, how many young people today? Sad thing. The other day somebody was telling me that she just can't believe that her son treated her that way. The father wrote certain things for the mother and he passed away. Now this son is harassing the mother like anything. He is living on the mother's money only. He is not working. And upon that, he is threatening the mother that if she doesn't do everything on his name or doesn't give certain more things, he will chuck her out. What is happening in the world? Let's see, for money. And the mother is not that she has not given. The mother is saying that I have given so much that no mother would have given to the child. That much wealth I have already given to this girl. But for what is not given, what the mother is holding for her security for her balance few years, this fellow is eyeing that and treating her so badly. You just think, where are emotions, where is love, where is duty, sacrifice, nothing. Money. That's why Guruji says very nicely, he says that the love of wealth has made the wealth of love disappear from our life. What is that obsession, that love of wealth? Putradapi dhanavajam viti. Sometimes the senior citizens are getting murdered because of wealth. Money. So apart from financial security and certain purchasing power that it has, what else can money do? It will bring a lot of tension only. There was one man who was happily walking, going on a trek. He sadhu actually. He is walking forest, he is going up in the mountains, somewhere he is going. And he finds one gold coin on the way. So he picks up that gold coin, he puts it. And every 10 minutes, what he will do? Check. Check. He was walking happily. Now every 10 minutes he has to check whether the gold coin is there or not there. See, that's what happens. When the money comes, with that comes there is a lot of other responsibility, fear. Many times the money will obsess a person so much that the person can't enjoy. He's having money but he can't enjoy, he won't enjoy. Because money is holding him, possessing him. And it is a very strange thing. When I don't have, I feel that I am miserable. Not that when I have, I feel very happy. When I have also, I feel miserable. Why? Because there is always somebody greater than me. People who are big shots here. When some fellow comes from outside, one Warren Buffett comes or one Bill Gates comes or any such person, in their presence they feel small. Here one is one big person. It is relative. If I equate wealth to my self-esteem and all that, then that is what is going to happen. So he says, na vidyena kalpanina manusha. In this world, triptikara na drishtaha. It is not seen only. So wealth let it be there. But what is worth my time, my energy is not that. What is worth my time and energy is to know the self, which will bring that fulfillment that I seek. So he says here this one. नहीं लोके वित्तलाभः कस्यचित् तृप्तिकरो दृष्टः यदि न अस्माकं वित्ततृष्णा स्यात् लप्स्यामहे प्राप्स्यामहे इति एतद् वित्तमद्राक्ष्म दृष्टवन्तो वयं चेत्वा त्वाम्. And he gives another logic. He says, even if wealth is required, now that we have seen you, now that I have seen you, I will anyway get wealth. Meaning, Lakshya Vittamagrakshma Chetva is the mantra here. Because he has seen Bhagwan, Lord Yama himself. Wealth so he will anyway be blessed with. You see, indirectly he told Yamaraj that, see, I have seen you and God, I can't live poor because the result of your darshan has to be at least simple material prosperity will be there or not. Suppose you go to the house of a very rich person and you come back without a single rupee. When you need some money, you have gone there and you come back. Whose name will go back? That rich person, no, itna kanjus hai, isko itna bhi madad nahi kiya. And he's a Brahman, by the way. So Brahman anyway has to be given dakshina and all that. So he says, now that I have seen you, wealth to anyway I will get. So I am not running up behind wealth. So why should I waste my boon on that? That I will give you as much wealth you want. So that is it that anyway I will get. That is nothing extra that I have to get. So Lapsyamahe Vittam Adrakshma Chetva. You just see Nachiketa. This is called Sattva Guna. Smart thinking. He didn't waste his boon. How many? First boon you saw was a combination of so many boons. Second boon also that he got, he was so sharp, he learned the entire thing of Agni Vidya that Yamaraj became happy and he says, I will give you one more boon. And he named the Nachiketa's Agni behind him, plus he gave him that necklace, which is lot of power, siddhis and all that. Now he is saying, wealth to anyway I will get. So if one thinks that spiritual seeker is a loser, no. Spiritual seeker is the biggest. He gains everything because so smart. Not out of manipulation or cunningness or any such thing. Because the genuine purity of heart is there, anyway it will all come to it. This is Lakshya Vittam Adrakshma Chetva. And as far as long life is concerned, he says, Jivitam apni tathaiva. He says life also is like that only. Meaning, same as the wealth, that having seen you, we will anyway live for long. You see that? Jivishyamo yavad yamye pade tvam ishishyase prabhu syaha katham hi madhyasya swaya sametya alpa dhana ayur bhavet. So he says, now that you are my friend, I will anyway live for as long as I have to live. Till you are ruling. Why? Because we are friends now. So, he has himself given him that boon, you live as long as you want. He is not taking, but the thing is, when he has seen Yamaraj, he is not scared of it. That too we discussed long back, saying that he went. No, no. So there are two things here. One aspect here is that the amount of time that he is supposed to live, that he will anyway live. Because if that is not over, that's why he went there and he'll come back. So that his time is not up yet. So he said that anyway I am going to live whatever my prarabdha karma, that much I will live anyway. And number two, now till you are ruling, I don't have to worry about this aspect because even as a jiva, if you see, life is going to continue only. Only this one body is not going to be there. And Nachiketa is not after the body. He says, as long as you are there, you are my friend. He is actually taking it for granted also, saying that you are my friend, so हमारा setting हो गया. Now I will live as long as we want. That's what he's saying because that in the Bhashya Shankaracharya he says that only Martyasya Tvaya Sametya Katham hi Alpa Dhana Ayuhu Bhave. The result of darshan of Yamaraj in this way, not in the usual way when the body dies and you go there. He said the result of darshan of Yamaraj is long life and the wealth will be a byproduct of that darshan. It is like that. What example can we give for that? Fear of death actually didn't have. Even I thought fear of death went, but there is no fear of death. It is actually literally long life.
Krishna Sudama can be good example. That when Sudama saw that Krishna,
No, not that type of an example. Here the example is the secondary result of that is long life.
It's like when mutton is prepared.
There he actually went to ask for that. That he couldn't ask because his mind was filled with devotion. And Bhagwan blessed him with that. When he went back, he saw that house and all is there. What did he say? Butter is prepared.
And when butter is prepared, the chaff is still it is a byproduct of his teeth.
Something like that. So when we have had the darshan of Yamaraj, he says anybody who has had darshan of Yamaraj in this way will get dhana and ayu by default. Is there something where when you go you get some default money?
Like when we go to casino, they give money to play.
No, but that you have to repay that.
No. If you don't play, you take that money. Because when I went,
So like
I
that.
didn't play.
Then everybody will go there, take the money and come out.
address देना,
That's what happened.
address देना, address देना.
That's what happened. Because when I went to the casino, my friend told me they had this deal that you pay the ticket, like I bus we went. And then when we entered, they gave us $20, which was 1 hour trip, like the bus ticket. And then she played, and I said, no, I don't want to play. Like, this is not what I want to do. So I kept that.
So like that, some membership if you do, you get some free benefits.
Yeah.
Some such thing, right? That I have seen Yamaraj, so I will anyway get. It says, Jivishyamo Yavadishishya Siddho. As long as you are ruling, I will still live. So now he says, what is the result of that? Varastume varaniyasa eva. Hence, you please give me that boon. What is the boon? What you asked before. So now this is about the wealth aspect. That how wealth and possessions, wealth and pleasures, these generally bind the human mind. And Nachiketa here is shown as a seeker who is free from these two attachments. He continues in 28. Ajiryatam amritanam upekya Jiryan martya kvadhastha prajanan Abhidhyayan varnarati pramodan Ati dirghe jivite ko rameta. So he says, Ajiryatam Amritanam Upekya, having approached that realm which is free from old age. Jirya is old age. Ajirya is no old age. Mrit is dead. Amrit is not dead. Meaning, having approached the subtle world of Yamlok, Devlok, whatever we call that subtle realm as, where death is not there, disease is not there, old age is not there. Genial Martya. I come from the Martya lok where there is old age, disease, death, all that. Vadhastha Prajana. Kwa. Ku means the earth. Adha means down. So compared to the higher worlds, earth is down. Who is the first one? Then Bhuva, Suva, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya. So those who are staying on earth as human beings or as beings, all the beings on earth are called what? Vadhastha. That is our name. Sanskrit name is Vadhastha. It can be Kvastha also. Those who are staying on earth. But from the subtle world is talking, so he's saying down, Adha down. Vadhastha Prajana. He says we all are well-knowing people from this. What do we know? Well, we know disease, we know old age, we know death. But now having come to this realm which is free from disease, old age and death, Abhijnaya Varnarati Pramodam. Why will I keep thinking about sense pleasures? Abhijnaya means brooding, sense pleasures. Ati virgya jivite korameta. And who wants this enjoyment in long life? Because anyway the body is going to perish. One is going to become old. Having come to a world of immortality, why will I seek all that? More about this we will continue tomorrow. This and that next mantra that the chapter 1 will end. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha. One minute, I will tell you. One thing is very important aspect is what Gurudev used to insist. So this is my suggestion to all of you. Is please have the book in your hand. Shruti Mata must be in our hand. Meaning we must have the book with us. Some of you here, you don't have books. This is our serious study. We must have our book, number one. Number two, to chant the mantra itself is a great punya. Even if we don't know the meaning. If you don't have the book, the mantra also can't be chanted properly. And then the commentary also we won't be studying. So the Upanishad cannot be studied like that. So my suggestion is, if not the Sanskrit, at least the English book of Gurudev's commentary, everybody please bring, so that when we chant the mantras, at least you open and see that mantra, as well as hopefully you can read the commentary also. Now the dates about the next month. So one thing what I am going to do now is, this chapter will end tomorrow. And tomorrow is what day? Tomorrow is Wednesday. Right. So what has happened is, I have shifted to June. So I come from June to early every night. Then early morning I come here. So from Thursday onwards, what we will do is online. I will do it on the computer. So you can sit at home, have the book and listen to the lecture. You have to download a video software called Zoom on your phone if you want to use it on phone. If you want to use it on computer also, zoom.us is the website. Download it. because that will become easier for us, and it has interactivity also in that. Only thing you have to do is you have to mute your audio. When you want to talk, raise your hand, then unmute the audio and talk. Ask whatever you want to ask. So interactivity will still be there. Only thing we will not be coming here and doing, we will do online. So zoom.us, once you download, create a free account in that. I will be sending you one link. That link you have to save. Once you save that link, every morning you have to just go and click that link. Whenever we have Upanishad class, you have to only click that link. That's it. It will start. So it's not very difficult or complicated or anything like that. What it will at least do is it will save my time. Otherwise, we have to come previous night, again come in the morning, again go back in the day to Juhu, again come back in the evening to Worli, again come back next day morning here. That is becoming a little crazy. So I am here for 2 or 3 days a week, 4 or 5 days I stay there. So Tuesday, Wednesday, when I have classes this side, then I stay here. When I don't have class, then I am there. So this 5 days in the morning, that becomes a big challenge. So let us try it on the Zoom. So download it today, and tomorrow if you have any problems, you can ask me. And day after tomorrow onwards, we will do it online.
So Swamiji, if you are coming to Worli, then you don't mind coming there and working in morning.
No. It won't work. A lot of people from here, they won't be able to reach me. And also, Worli place is small, very small. And with that recording, this, that, it will be very difficult to do. Better we can just do it online because there are anyway people who are online. 4, 5, 5, 7 people are also online. So try it, that will work better. Anyway, there are other programs where I will keep coming and we will keep meeting and doing that way. But this morning, because you see the difficulty with morning is my entire schedule goes for the toss. Because there is no time to do exercise, meditation, any of that. By the time we finish from here and go back to Worli, it's already 10 o'clock. From there you go back, finish a class, go back to Juhu. So the whole thing has become it is little difficult to continue the sadhana.
But if you be only temporary for 2-3 months, then you are going to let me know.
No. This will be, we will figure out as we go along. I don't know what is the situation going to be. But as of now, it is going to be there for sure.
Can you schedule it on the days when you are trying to
No. That is not possible because I don't want to do it like two days a week and all that. Upanishad 5 days a week is study continuously. So it's better let's do it online and continuity is there too. Otherwise I would have done this as a study class or as a weekly class, but weekly class is useless in terms of the continuity people don't maintain only. I've tried doing all that. What we have studied last week, what they have in that whole week, half of it is forgotten also. Upanishad can't be studied like that. In study group and all, let the people do it that way. But here I don't want to do it like that. So let it be online. We have to test it out.
Going to be user, we have to try and all.
Why will you be losers? ज्ञान तो आपको वही मिलता है. Then what interactivity also is going to be there. Then what will you lose? Don't tell me your vibration is not there. Vibration also comes. Vibration also comes through knowledge only. So the dates for May were 14 to 18. Those are the dates for May. 14 to 19.
5 days and 18.
18. 14 to 18, sorry. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि